Hello, welcome to Real Frank Movie Reviews. Thanks for checking it out. In this episode, we're going to review the new movie, The Gray Man, available to stream on Netflix. My guest reviewer and I are going to talk about this movie and this amazing cast. With this cast of all-stars, this movie has to be fantastic, right?
Real Frank.
All right, welcome back to the show, Michelle. Welcome back, Michelle.
Hello.
So the movie The Gray Man, could you give our viewers an overview of what the movie is about?
It's about like a secret service type of agency that several years ago they recruited people from prison, people that really had no way out of life, no family connections, wanted to get out of prison, and this was their way out, and basically made them disappear into the gray. And then more modern day, they're recruiting actual people who can work in these, I don't know, co-op, what are they called? Covert operations, etc. But of course, like everything else, it got corrupt.
Of course.
And very violent.
So they find these prisoners, and then they would make them work for the CIA. I believe it was the CIA, and race them, and they become trained to be these like mercenary killers, kind of like Bourne Identity, SK type of feel thing, but you're working for the government.
What was it called? What was the operation called?
I don't know. Bourne Identity. Let's just call it what it was.
No, it wasn't. Maybe it'll come to me.
All right. So, what did you think of this movie?
I liked the movie. Overall, for a Netflix movie, yes, it was like a synopsis of something you might have seen before. Mm-hmm. I liked the way it was filmed. Mm-hmm. I thought the acting was great. There were some things where I was like, come on, it's a little over the top. Mm-hmm. But that happens in a lot of action movies. Far-fetched. Things you wouldn't see every day in life, and they made it seem like that just happens, in every city and every neighborhood.
Right. Okay. All right. The Russo brothers, they turned into big time directors. They're the ones who directed this movie. They did a couple Marvel movies. They did the Endgame and Infinity War. They've done amazing Marvel movies, and they came out with one, I believe, on Apple TV called Cherry with Tom Holland, which was really good. But there was some good film work. I mean, camera work. There were some great camera angles, like zooming into the hospital when they were in there. That was sweet. Some chase scenes, the way they filmed it was fantastic. And the acting was great. I mean, how could the acting not be great with that type of all-star cast with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans playing the main characters, and Billy Bob Thornton had a small role. I mean, it was a pretty good cast. Was there a particular scene that you really enjoyed, your favorite part in the movie?
I don't think anything actually stands out as one favorite part. I truly enjoyed the movie. It's hard for me to stay focused on a movie without checking something else around me. And I truly stayed focused on this movie. So, maybe towards the end of the movie, the sentimental parts that actually were interwoven were things that I truly liked. There were parts that I could not watch. I had to close my eyes for.
Which parts?
I couldn't handle the torture. I couldn't watch the torture.
Oh, the fingernails? They were pulling off Billy Bob Lloyd. Chris Evans' character was pulling off Billy Bob Thornton's fingernails. Yeah. Really? Really? That bothered you?
I didn't know how bad it was going to get, obviously, so I hadn't seen the movie before. So I closed my eyes and waited until that little part was done and then opened them back up.
I mean, They didn't really show anything, so it wasn't, I don't know. I thought that was a bad scene in the movie. I didn't enjoy that scene at all. The way it was shot, it just looked ridiculous to me. It looked fake.
Right.
I never believed it for a second. Like, there's some of those scenes where they're torturing, you're like, oh my God. But this one is like, this hurts so bad. I'm Billy Bob Thornton. Oh, it just didn't. I wasn't believing it. I wasn't believing he was suffering.
I don't. His acting seemed off a little bit in this movie to me too, but I'm not sure.
It did, didn't it? Because usually he's a pretty damn good actor. I mean, and he just seems like he phoned it in on this one. Like, all right, give me 10 million. I'll come in. I'll shoot for a day. I'll play this guy that recruits these guys, recruits Ryan Gosling, whose name is Six, and turn him into a killer that works for the government. And then I'll do my thing.
Yeah, the writing maybe was off for him or something too. I don't know, because you never knew if he was a good guy or a mixed-up guy or, I don't know, bad guy. Like, you weren't sure, and of course they got to bring a kid into it and, you know, get everyone the suspense going that the child's going to be damaged and he's got to protect her.
And here's my issue with the movie too. The girl apparently has a heart issue and has a pacemaker inside her. Now, towards the end of this movie, I mean, she's captured and there's gunfire and they're saving her and she's on a boat and she's got a pacemaker. They reference
but kids are resilient.
The pacemaker. She even had an episode to do a flashback when Six, Ryan Gosling's character's there and saves her because she collapses, just sleeping, and she goes, "It's just another Thursday." Another Thursday, right? You collapse on a Thursday, but not during a gunfight, gun chase to get your freedom. That was my problem. Not even one little hiccup.
Yeah. And the tiny parts where they tried to protect her, you know. She'd play music really loud or put in earplugs.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, she was old enough to know what's going on. So.
Yeah, for me, this movie dragged. I mean, I was waiting for this thing to get wrapped up. But when I thought it was going to get wrapped up, guess what? There's another 20 minutes. And then when I thought it was going to get wrapped up again, another 10 minutes. It's like, come on, let's finish this thing. They just kind of dragged it out. I was shocked by how much they dragged it. How did you feel about it? Or were you content with the way it ended?
I liked it. I was fine. And for a movie that has that much violence and that much shooting, and normally I lose interest, but I was fine. I actually thought it was something your dad would like.
Actually, he did like it. I heard it. And when I came over to my parents' house, he was watching it, and he was really happy. It was really loud in the house. Like coming up to the door, I could hear the gunfire in the end. But he liked it. But I thought Ryan Gosling, I love the way Ryan Gosling's character Six shot out his lines, like the way it was like nonchalant in every scene when he's like fighting or doing something wrong. What's wrong? You're moving. You all right? Is there an earthquake over there?
I'm okay.
Huh? What's going on? Huh? You fell? What happened there?
We're good.
Oh, all right. And then Lloyd's character, played by Chris Evans, I liked that side of seeing him play that type of role, something different, unique, instead of being a superhero. He was kind of a dicky hitman who didn't care about destruction and stuff. What did you think of the way they played those two characters?
I like Ryan Gosling's role. I didn't like Chris Evans' role. I think part of it was like narcissism, but like if he was as evil as he was, more people would have been dead sooner. Like I don't know. It was almost like it felt Jokerish to me. Like, I'm gonna leave you alive just so I can mess with your head. I don't know. And
well, he was supposed to be crazy, remember? He's this crazy guy they didn't want to bring in, but they had no choice, so they bring in the crazy guy, and that was Lloyd. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you didn't care for that. Was there, other than the fingernail scene, other than it being gross for you, what other scene did you not like?
Maybe the last fighting scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I kept thinking that the Indian guy was going to come back and shoot the Chris Evans character, Lloyd.
The Indian
for
guy?
whatever reason, I kept thinking the Indian guy was going to come back because he was really upset that he was willing to kill a girl.
Oh, the guy they hired to help retrieve the disc or the drive.
But Ryan Gosling got stabbed so many times in that scene. I don't know how he lived through that. Like, that's too many stab wounds.
Hey man, he doesn't really scream or nothing either, man. You know, just yeah, man. I got stabbed. I'm gonna kind of bleed out. Does this mission include me? Because I'm kind of bleeding out right now. he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
A crazy tough guy. Did you have a
They
favorite
always
part?
had that troubled childhood that made him tough.
Yes. Did you have a favorite part at all?
Maybe when they were in the apartment with, I don't know what she was, the old like director of the original, CIA.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Thing.
When they went, he sent the disc to her, and they went
Right.
to retrieve it. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her character.
She didn't really have a big part though.
No,
It was a big part of the movie. Small part.
I wasn't expecting that, I guess.
Okay.
So,
The beginning of this movie kind of annoyed me too. Like, 6 is underneath the floor going to try and take out this guy, and it's a see-through floor, like he can see, and then he doesn't take the shot. I mean, I thought that was kind of silly, that whole scene. That kind of bothered me.
that he didn't take the shot?
The way it was played out, like, he could have taken that shot. There was many opportunities to take the shot, and then they had to make it more dramatic where he follows him out and does hand-to-hand combat to get to him. Where they could have just done a sniper nice and clean thing. But I guess
They had to make him look like a good guy because there was a kid there.
yeah, of course. And then then we would have never found out that he had that disc, and the plot of the whole movie would have been destroyed without that face-to-face combat.
Yeah.
I get it, but I didn't like it. You showed me one way you're gonna take him out. You obviously could take him out that way, and you don't.
Right.
Bothered me. All right, are you gonna watch this movie again?
I mean, if it was on, I probably wouldn't turn it off unless the kids were in the room.
Okay. All right. So why don't we go ahead and score this?
Okay.
What 1 to 10, 10 being the best, score do you give this movie?
Probably like a 6.5.
A 6.5? You give this a 6.5? Really? That's pretty high for you. And there's no like... I honestly, when you're watching this, I thought you wouldn't like this movie. I'm quite shocked by your high score, 6.5.
The acting was good. The camera angles were good. It really pulled me in. I really liked the credits too, to be honest with you.
The
I thought
credits?
that was really cool. Yeah. I liked them.
The credits. And you still give it a high score because your favorite part was the credits?
I didn't say it was my favorite part. I said it was impressive.
Oh, because the little
You gotta
statue?
watch it to see it, right?
The statues?
You didn't like that?
No, it was cool, but it was kind of neat how they did that. I get that, but is that part of your scoring because of the credits?
No.
Okay.
No, I liked it before the credits. That was just an addition.
My favorite part of this movie was just the way they shot some of those scenes with the camera angles. Those were really cool. But for me, this movie, overall, I give this movie a 3.5.
Oh, that's really low.
No, it is good.
You like the acting? You like the camera angle?
I like the acting, but the movie itself was stupid. Stupid. Movie was
It reminded
dumb.
you too much of Bourne Identity or something, huh?
Dude, it dragged out forever. How many fight scenes you gotta have? How many times you gotta be stabbed and shot and you still don't get down? And then in the end, you don't even get to kill Lloyd. A chick with a gun kills Lloyd. Little surprise, surprise. It was embarrassing. I'm disappointed in the Russo brothers. The camera angles of the scenes, they did some cool new things with the camera. I enjoyed that. The rest of the movie, horseshit. I'm calling it now. I'm saying it. Horseshit. I'll never watch this movie again. Even the music. I think music has a big influence in movies. Like, it has a good, background soundtrack and everything. It adds to this one sucked ass. The music.
You just didn't like the records.
Sucked ass. The music they chose for the records sucked ass.
You didn't like the records.
And the soundtrack for this movie sucked ass. The background music, awful. Just awful. I'm very disappointed. And it goes back to my theory. Now that everyone is going back to the movie theaters, the A stuff is back. The A quality stuff is in the movie theaters. The B shit and C shit and D shit, your streaming service that you pay for, they throw that shit on there. Awful.
Well, let's find out. Maybe this is just one-off for you.
I'm telling you.
I liked it. You didn't.
I'm telling you. It's going to be a big movie because everyone's going to stream it, right? It's going to have huge numbers on Netflix to streaming because it's got an all-star cast, all-star director, right? It's going to have huge numbers, so they're considered a success for sure, right? But in reality, if you break it down, it's shit. if I had to pay the movie theater for this movie, I'd be disgusted. I'd be like, oh my God. I had to go through like 5 different endings that didn't end, and then I had to pay money for this. It would have just been horrendous. That's why I'm so shocked. You gave it, a 6.5? 6.5, you said?
You are so hard to impress. You're just sorry.
6.5 you gave it, right?
Yeah.
I just thought for sure you
I mean, for me, a movie that I really love, I'm going to give it an 8 or a 9. So this is a mediocre score for me. I don't bash things to a 3 or a 2 when it's a decent movie.
I have no desire to ever watch this again.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed because some of those camera shots were really cool, but I can't. I feel like a girlfriend cheated on me. That's what it feels like. With this cast, the Russo brothers, I was really excited about it, and then my girlfriend, I was falling in love with her. I was like, oh, this could be the one. I love it so much. And then she cheated on me. She dumped me. This is what this movie did to me.
Wow.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No.
All right, Michelle gives it a 6.5. I give it a 3.5. That's our review for The Gray Man. Thanks for watching.